Welcome to Ups and Downs with me, JP Saxe. Our guest this afternoon is Arij Mikati, and she's gonna, how's the pronunciation? Did I fuck it up?
That was good.
Yes. Validation off the jump. And I'm gonna ask her some things about herself and the things she believes.
Ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs with JP Saxe.
Okay, you work in a field with a lot of heaviness and a lot of intensity and a lot of sadness, and yet you're an extremely joyful human being. How does that work?
What a great question. Well, first of all, I think you know this about me, JP, but delight is one of my core values. I think it's a human right to seek delight, and I think that the more marginalized people are, the more they deserve frivolity in their lives. So I tend to seek it out by any means necessary. And I think that in order to do work that requires a lot of heaviness, like this teeter-totter, woo! I think in order to do work that requires a lot of heaviness, you need to be able to seek delight and joy. And as Mariam Kaba says, hope is a discipline. And I believe that delight is central to hope.
Okay, I have a couple follow-up questions.
Okay.
Firstly, you use the word frivolity.
Frivolity.
What does that mean?
It's like frivolous.
Frivolity, like the frivolous nature of things.
Yeah, we should be able to do silly things. Not everything has to be heavy. Not every piece of art we create has to be about our trauma. It can be about our joy or our silliness or going to the grocery store too.
Do you think when we leave more room to be affected by the tragedy and pain of the world, we also leave more room to be affected by the joys and delights of the world?
Leading question, but yes, I do think that. I think that in order to feel the full spectrum of human emotion, you have to not resist the emotions that scare you. And once you open yourself to the emotions that scare you, you can more fully envision and kind of luxuriate in the ones that delight you.
Okay, I love all of that. You once told me that you don't believe in guilty pleasure,
I don't.
and I really liked how you described that. Will you tell the teeter-totter people?
Yeah. I don't believe in guilty pleasure. I just believe in pleasure.
Okay, quick pause, my legs
I don't believe in guilty pleasure. I just believe in pleasure. And the reason for that is I think that we should feel really proud and excited. Again, that connects to that frivolity piece. We should feel proud and excited to spend time with whatever makes us happy. And not everything we do has to be highbrow. So if you like something like Love is Blind, like it and be proud of it. There's space for that in our lives.
We watched Love Island in the living room last night.
I've never seen it, but now I want to.
It's bad.
Nice.
But they used my songs a couple times, so I like them for that.
Wow. Let's get those checks.
Yep. It was like a solid $60 or $70. Okay, I have two more questions.
Okay.
Where does your sense of motivation come from on a regular, overarching basis? And then, second question, where do you look for it when those places are unavailable?
So I would say that my motivation most deeply comes from my faith as a Muslim person. When I was growing up, my mom taught me that the first thing God created in the universe was the scale of justice. And I really felt that was central to who I became and wanted to be and seek to be. So I feel like my motivation really comes from wanting to be like an agent of justice in the world and being part of correcting that scale. And when that's not available to me, because sometimes it's really, really hard to fight for justice in a world where you see injustice so regularly. Thank you.
Welcome.
I really am out of shape, it sounds like.
My knees hurt so much. I feel them.
My knees are okay, but my lung capacity is not where I'd like it to be.
I'm glad we're on the same page with that. I
Thank
usually
you.
just blame my asthma, but I think it's my work
No,
ethic.
I think it's my work ethic around this. So I will say, and when that's not available to me, it's my community that uplifts me and reminds me what tends to give me hope and that the arc of the universe is long and that I can be part of bending it towards justice. And so the people I surround myself with and the community that I make are really what keep me going.
When you do a lot to empower and enable said community
I try.
in telling their stories in a really amazing way.
That's really kind. Thank you. That's very generous.
You're welcome. Okay, last question.
Okay.
you have been a prominent figure in coordinating the artist community around the Free Palestine movement. Someone who's watching this who is not already involved and maybe doesn't feel as if they are a part of it in any way. Maybe they're not Jewish, they're not Palestinian, they're not Arab, but they are affected by what they're seeing in their social media feeds and they want to be involved in some way. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, that's an amazing question. Thank you for being part of that movement. I would say, one, thank you for being affected by something that doesn't seem like it affects all of us, but genuinely does. Whether you're somebody who cares about environmental justice and doesn't want to see a place obliterated to become inhabitable, whether you're someone who cares about policing and police brutality in the United States and doesn't want people who systemically train one another to oppress us as brutally as possible. There are so many reasons to feel connected in this fight and have it be your fight. And I think that if you want to help, one, I think we need to all be demanding ceasefire. 5 Calls app is a really good one to do. So download 5 Calls app if you haven't. Make those 5 calls every day. And, I would say continue to read about it, elevate Palestinian voices specifically. There's a ton of people that are showing us what's happening on the ground in Gaza right now that you can learn directly from. And you can always reach out to me if you're not sure what the next step is.
Okay, that's a lot to take on.
I do this.
Just here for the allies.
Why do I do it? I don't know.
Well, thanks for being here for the allies. I appreciate you. Thanks for being on Ups and Downs.
Thank you.
Yay, I'm so out of breath. Woo. Off the teeter totter we go.
Ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs with JP Saxe.
Think there's anything I should ask you about that I didn't?
That was great.
Okay.
I don't know what I said because I was thinking about how out of shape I am.
You did such a good job.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.